not a weeb copium.
I'm the definition of a hate watcher. You literally manipulate any instance into an example of your agenda being most of your money in your pocket as possible by catering to the most popular party. It's pathetic. That's awesome. I love that. You want to know why I love that? Well, one, thank you for your honesty. But two, I love that you said that leftism is popular. Like, it's like an actual popular thing. That's great. Thank you. It's awesome that, like, socialism is the most popular concept. That's great. That's why I always say, I agree, but I also see the downside of never having your viewpoints challenged with opposing views. Yawn. Okay. Here's the thing. Okay? This notion that you are having your opinions challenged in the marketplace of ideas is a silly one. Okay? That would make Ben Shapiro the most intelligent person on the internet. This is why I absolutely fucking despise debate bros, because you don't care about the actual morality behind the ideology that you supposedly believe in. You don't care about the outcomes. You do not have like a well-grounded materialist perspective on issues. You are simply going towards who is the most powerful intellectual gladiator. Okay? Debates, and I haven't had this conversation in a long time. So it's actually, if Hasan did debates, no one would watch. First of all, that's not true. That's literally not true. Wait, what the fuck did I just click on? Oh, my debates have been incredibly well watched. What the fuck are you talking about?
14 months. Boosted brain rot engaged. Hassle.
The reason why I don't do that is because the reason why I don't do that is not because, like, and a lot of debate bros think like I'm running away from arguments. But the reason why I don't do that is not because I'm like afraid of arguments or the opposing side or anything like that. The reason why I don't do that is because I'd find it to be unproductive. I find the kind of audience that it starts fostering is incredibly toxic and not good for both growth as a stream, but certainly growth as an individual. Because it becomes an instance where people are exclusively looking for the next debate, looking for new targets to belittle, to berate. And because I don't personally believe that debates are anything but intellectual, pseudo-intellectual WWE, just mostly focused on the theatrics of it all, I don't think that that's a productive way of changing people's minds while also simultaneously growing your community. You're only looking for, most of the debates that you watch on the internet revolve around, one, perfectly crafting your talking points, knowing what your opposing side's talking points are, and perfectly crafting retorts to those talking points. And that can absolutely be relatively educational. You get a better understanding of what your talking points look like and how it matches up against other people's talking points, right? So that's a good thing. Makes you feel good, makes your side feel good if you have like a powerful debate lord fighting on your behalf. Totally get that, right? But ultimately, it's not like you're actually diving a little bit deeper into why you believe the things that you believe. You know what I mean? You're not doing that. You're not actually learning as to why you should feel a certain way about certain issues. You're simply just repeating talking points on your team's side, okay, and trying to rationalize the most illogical, logical fallacies you can as quickly as you possibly can. That's it. You are right, but I still think it has some value. Maybe it has more value outside of the streaming aspect and more value in a personal aspect, maybe. I am not of the mindset that debates are... This is weird. I am not of the mindset that debates are actually a successful way of matching up ideas. I've said this a million times over, but it bears repeating. I personally think that if that was the case, then Ben Shapiro would never be able to own, for example, a scientist on the issue of climate change. But because debates value rhetoric over actual substance, Ben Shapiro could absolutely, quote unquote, destroy a nerdy scientist who is well versed in the subject matter that he's discussing and make it seem as though he actually destroyed a fucking real, credible individual that knows a lot more. It's not about who's right, it's about who appears to be more powerful. That's why a lot of debate lords who do not have any emotional investment, okay? That's why many debate lords who do not have a single ounce of emotional investment in the arguments that he's talking about, okay, will appear to win. That's why a lot of debate lords do not really care about the substance or care about the things that they're talking about and will say ridiculous shit in an effort to, you know, try to reach out to the different recipes, the boundaries of your moral system that you've crafted. And it's not something that you would normally do. On top of that, debates don't actually change people's minds. They have a capacity to be able to change people's minds, certainly. There is the classic 40-40-20 principle. 40% of the watchers are going to stay on one side, their own side. They're already well versed.
Got COVID myself.
Then they're watching to learn the talking points. The other 40%, same thing. And then there is the 20% in the middle that are in the margins that could go either way, that could actually have their minds changed, but it's still not good enough. If you don't steer those people towards a direction and you simply steer them towards the direction of being a fan of yours and advocating for whatever the fuck kind of seasoning you have decided to put on top of your neoliberalist values, your neoliberal values, then they've just become the exact same person that they used to be. But instead of doing it for Nazi shit, they're doing it for you and whoever the fuck you have decided is your enemy or whatever ideology you have decided to, value for the sake of the argument. Okay? Debates have definitely de-radicalized a lot of STEM lord types, just like shows like yours and Chapo that reject civility, politics, and political correctness pull a lot of edgelords over. I mean, sure.
Stranded forever, Sag.
Oh, dude, look. He's right. Last night he tried debating that he wasn't a weeb and nobody changed their mind. Okay, dude. Why you gotta do this to me right now?
My grandfather dies Friday from COVID pneumonia. Happy New Year.
So
18 months is pretty pog.
Ultimately, as I was stating, if you enjoy debates, that's fine. I watch debates from time to time as well. But if you think that like that is the end all be all of like stimulating intellectual conversation, you're wrong. If anything, the research proportion of finding the appropriate talking points to counter people's arguments with is probably the more productive side of the debate. If you're, actually streaming that part. You know what I mean? This was Parker from the video that we watched yesterday.